So if you're new here, I'm Savannah. If you're not, I'm still Savannah. And it is the best month of the freaking year. It's October. It's my favorite month and it's my family's favorite month because it's scary season. I am an advocate for scary movies all year round. But October, especially in my house, we are doing the 30 days of October, a scary movie every single night leading up to the best day of the year, which is Halloween. Because why? I love scary movies. My family absolutely adores scary movies. We wanted our 30 days to be full of movies that we knew weren't going to be flops and that we would absolutely love. Now I'm going to give you my little week 1 recap. Day 1, we need to start it off with an absolute banger. The Forever Purge. The Purges I find especially nerve-wracking because it almost seems a little bit more realistic to me. If you're not familiar with the Purge franchise, there is a super low crime rate throughout the country because one day out of the year, all crimes are legal. You can do anything from murder to robbing to anything in between. So you're purging at night or you're hiding in your house and you have like a full-blown security system to try to protect you and your family. Just imagining the fear of knowing that this day is coming and there's nothing you can do about it. Just hope all your family members are safe. There's no possible way of getting help until the day is over. Also, my thought while watching these movies is if your neighbor tries to kill you and you survive and you guys separate or whatever, or you have an interaction and the next day you wake up and you have to see them, like, what are your thoughts? That is absolutely insane. Can you imagine? Or seeing people that you know out purging at night, how awkward. I find the Forever Purge, I think, especially scary. Without giving away the entire movie, they're based in Texas. It's this wife and this husband and they immigrated over from Mexico. The husband is working on a ranch. Purge is gonna happen. They survive. Then they find out that some people don't want the purge to end. So it's like if this were to be a real thing or one day out of the year it's truly terrifying, you just have these people that are like, no, I don't actually want it to be one day of the year. I want it to be every single day. Everything kind of escalates from there. So it was more relatable characters for me and for my family, and imagining this actually playing out and the vulnerability of it really escalates the fear. I loved it. My family loved it. I would highly recommend the Purge franchise if you haven't gotten a chance to watch it. So that was day 1. Day 2, we had a special guest, which was my girlfriend Nikki, who should be joining us once a week for the 30 days. Now, Nikki is not a horror movie fanatic the way that me and my family are. When I was 7, I walked into my parents' room and they were watching a scary movie. When I asked if I could watch it with them, my dad's response was that I could watch it as long as I didn't cry later and I didn't get nightmares because it was all fake. And ever since then, I've been perfectly fine watching scary movies. Now, Nikki, on the other hand, is a little squeamish when it comes to these kinds of movies. She's a little traumatized from like the Jeepers Creepers intro song and stuff. So I was especially excited to see her watching these. I wanted something that was a slasher. That way it had some different brutal killings, but that wasn't too crazy to scare her away for the first week. So I decided on Scream. Scream is my little sister Sophie's favorite scary movie franchise. So I actually bedazzled her a Scream mask to use for this Halloween. Then I asked her which Scream she preferred and she said, of course, Scream 1. So we watched Scream 1. That was awesome. I thought it was a nice, lighthearted slasher. Again, we've seen all these movies before, but some of them we haven't seen as recently as other movies. My dad was like, actually, you know, I've never really given Scream a chance on my scary movie list. Pretty good. Like, I think if I were to get really into it, I would really see the appeal. It had funniness when he's like, I'm getting a little woozy. Overall, I would say super enjoyable. Would definitely recommend Scream. Day 3, let's pick a movie that we haven't seen in a really long time, one that's creepy. So we watched The Hills Have Eyes. I haven't watched since I was probably like 12. It was so freaking amazing. It was just as creepy and eerie as I remember it. If you haven't seen it, the government did these nuclear bomb experiments on this area and it caused a lot of birth defects and different people doing different things. This family is going on vacation in the RV in the car, go through this town. They end up veering off road, which is really because there were spikes on the road and their tires popped. They're in like the middle of nowhere and there's like mountains and dirt. There's nobody in like a 5-mile radius. They're trying to seek help, but different things they're noticing and they're like, I don't think we're alone here. Just the feeling of being helpless in this little town, really eerie. People look really creepy. There's a lot of gore. My mom was like, oh my gosh, it's just as good as I remember. Day 4, we chose Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, my dad was like, let's do the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I don't think I had ever seen before because when I was 10 maybe, for Christmas, got me like this whole collection of the DVDs of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and in it had crime scene photos, evidence, but I think it was the remake of it that was in the 2000s. So he put on the original, which was made in, I believe, 74. It was like, it's just as good as the one that you had seen. And I was like, both equally gory? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, all right, then let's go with the original because I hadn't seen it before. And I watched it and oh my gosh, for any time, it was pretty gory. For the 70s especially, I was like, what the heck? There were a lot of moments where I was like, girl, what are you doing in this situation? Get out, leave, what the heck? It's your fault that this stuff is happening, but if people didn't make dumb decisions in scary movies, we wouldn't have scary movies. So realistically, whatever. Basically, is this group of people are driving. They end up in this town and there's this guy who's named Leatherface. They come into contact Archetype with him, and it's a whole thing. It's a huge slasher movie. It's amazing. It's small town. It's creepy vibes. It's scary, and it's just gruesome and gory and overall amazing. So pleased with the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That was week 1. I would highly recommend. As a recap, we had The Forever Purge, Scream 1, The Hills Have Eyes, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We have newer, older. Week 1 was amazing. I will keep you updated on week 2. I hope you have a great day every single day this week because it's the best month of the year. Watch your scary movies, spend some time with family, and have a great month. See you back next week. Bye! Let me lose my spot! I'm more like gore can make the worst movie great, and she's more like, ooh, gore.